Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're really getting into a fantastic piece of literature, Book 6 of Homer's Odyssey.
It's such a pivotal moment.
It really is. We're talking about this ancient world, where gods and mortals are constantly interacting, and our mission really is to unpack Odysseus's awakening after that brutal shipwreck.
And that critical first meeting with Nausicaa.
Exactly. And you'll see how everything from a dream Athene sends to a game of catch, it's all woven together. It basically sets the stage for Odysseus's entire journey home, or at least the next phase. It's like a shortcut to understanding some really core ideas in classical lit hospitality, what society expected back then, and, well, the gods always having a hand in things.
And it kicks off so quickly after Odysseus collapses from exhaustion, doesn't it? We're suddenly in Scheria, the city of the Phaiakians.
Right, these people who are kind of set apart.
Very much so. They originally lived somewhere else, Hypereia, but Homer tells us they were pushed out by the Cyclopes.
The overbearing Cyclopes,
Yeah.
so they moved.
Exactly. Their leader, Nausicaa, described as godlike, led them far away. To Scheria, a place Homer says is far away from men who eat bread, which is a fascinating description.
Suggests isolation, maybe.
Definitely. He built up their city walls, temples, homes, divided the land. And now Alcinous rules, someone who the text says is learned in designs from the gods.
Okay, so a wise ruler.
And it's right into his household that Athene, the gray-eyed goddess, goes. She's already planning. The text says she's devising the homecoming of great-hearted Odysseus. So the gears are already turning.
And she doesn't just, announce herself. She's subtle. She goes into Nausicaa's room, this beautiful chamber where she's asleep.
Described as looking like a goddess herself.
Yeah, like the immortal goddesses for stature and beauty. And Athene just drifts in.
Wind like a breath of wind, yes. And then she takes on a disguise. She appears as one of Nausicaa's friends, the daughter of Divus.
Why do that? Why not just appear as Athene and tell her what to do?
Well, that's classic Athene, isn't it? Always working indirectly. In this dream, as the friend, she taps into Nausicaa's own desires and social pressures. She nudges her, saying something like, Nausicaa, how can you be so careless? Your wedding's coming up and all these lovely clothes are dirty.
So she's using the marriage prospect.
Precisely. She talks about how having fine, clean clothes reflects well on her, pleases her parents, boosts her reputation, giving pleasure to your father and the lady your mother.
Right, reputation. Huge in that world.
Paramount. So Athene isn't commanding, she's persuading. Using Nausicaa's own understandable wishes to get her down to the river, right where Odysseus will wake up. It's masterful manipulation, really.
So Nausicaa wakes up, remembers the dream, wondered much at her dreaming, the text says, and she goes to find her parents.
Her mother's spinning, her father's heading out to council. Very domestic scene.
And the way she asks her dad for the wagon. It's quite charming, isn't it? She's a bit shy about mentioning marriage directly.
Yeah, she sort of frames it as needing to wash his clothes. Because, a man of his stature needs to look sharp.
Daddy, he says, will you not have them harness me the wagon so that I can take the clothing to the river and wash it? And then she throws in her brothers needing clean clothes, too.
A very relatable, roundabout way for a young woman to ask. But her father gets it.
He totally gets it. The text says he understood all.
And he's warm about it. I do not begrudge you the mule's child nor anything else. It shows a nice family dynamic, actually.
Definitely. So he gives the order, the wagon's prepared, Nausicaa and her maids load it up, her mom packs lunch, wine, even olive oil for after bathing.
And practicalities.
Nausicaa grabs the whip and reins, and off they head to the river. The stage is set.
And they get to this lovely spot, perfect for washing clothes. They let the mules graze.
And then they make a game of the washing, stamping on the clothes in the basins, racing each other.
It's such a vivid detail, isn't it? It shows their youth, the communal way they did things. It creates this perfectly normal, relaxed atmosphere.
Right before everything changes, after washing, they spread the clothes out, bathe, use the olive oil, eat their lunch.
And then, feeling relaxed, they start a game of ball. They take off their veils. Nausicaa, of the White Arms, is leading the game and dancing.
And this is where Athene makes her move. She ensures the encounter happens.
She thinks, right then, how Odysseus should awake and see the well-favored young girl. It's a deliberate intervention.
So the princess throws the ball, misses a friend, and it splashes into the river.
Plop. And the girls all shriek or cry out.
And that sound is what finally wakes Odysseus. Perfect timing.
Divine timing, perhaps, merged with a completely plausible accident.
So he sits up, instantly wary, thinking, Me, what kind of people live here? Are they violent, savage, or are they hospitable and God-fearing?
A crucial question for any stranger, especially one in his state.
And he's totally naked, remember, covered in brine from the sea. He breaks off a branch, for basic decency.
And then advances like a hill-kept lion, driven by hunger. It must have been terrifying.
Oh, absolutely. Terrifying to them, all crusted with dry spray. Imagine seeing that emerge from the bushes.
And the maids just scatter in panic, understandably.
But Nausicaa doesn't run.
No. Only the daughter of Alcinous stood fast.
Mm?
And Homer tells us why. For Athene put courage into her heart and took the fear from her body.
Another direct intervention. So she stands her ground. Odysseus sees this, and he has this quick internal debate.
Should he go right up and clasp her knees?
Uh-uh.
That traditional gesture of supplication?
Which shows complete vulnerability, putting yourself totally at their mercy.
Or should he, maybe more wisely given his appearance, stand back and use words of blandishment? Ask politely for help.
And he picks the second option, the words. Why is that so smart here?
Well, think about it. He looks terrifying. Grabbing at her knees might just make her scream louder or run away. He needs to disarm her fear first.
Okay, makes sense. So he starts speaking blandishingly and full of craft. What's his opening move?
He immediately elevates her. He asks if she's a goddess, perhaps Artemis, comparing her beauty and stature.
High praise.
Very high praise. It's respectful, culturally savvy, not just empty flattery. It establishes deference. Then he covers his bases. If she's mortal, he blesses her whole family and especially, her future husband.
Playing right into what Athene used in the dream.
Exactly. He's appealing to her hopes for a good marriage, a happy life. It's incredibly smooth.
And then he uses that amazing comparison. He says he's never seen anyone like her, except once.
Ah, the palm tree at Delos.
Yes. By Apollo's altar, he saw this young palm sapling shooting up, and he just marveled at it because it was so unique, so vibrant.
Such a tree had never yet sprung from the earth.
And he says to Nausicaa, just like I admired that tree lady, I admire you now. And I wonder, but I'm also, frankly, terrified to touch your knees.
It's brilliant. It conveys her unique beauty, his awe, and his own vulnerability and desperation all at once without sounding pathetic. It shows his intelligence is intact.
Incredible skill, even shipwrecked and naked. He then briefly explains he's a castaway, 20 days at sea, landed here by fate.
And asks for the basics. Pity. A rag to wrap me in. And directions to the city.
And he adds that lovely blessing, praying the gods give her everything she wants, a husband, a home, sweet agreement.
For nothing is better than this. When two people, a man and his wife, keep a harmonious household. It's so poignant coming from him, the man who's lost his home and wife.
It really is. And Nausicaa's reaction is just as remarkable. She doesn't flinch.
No, she sees past the grime and the nakedness. She tells him straight up, you don't seem like a bad person or a fool.
And she acknowledges the role of the gods of Zeus in people's fortunes. She says basically, look, Zeus must have given you this bad luck, so you have to bear it.
Acceptance of fate, but then immediate reassurance. You shall not lack for clothing nor anything else a suppliant needs.
And she takes charge, calls back her maids who ran off. Stand fast, girls. Where are you flying? Do you think this is an enemy?
That's a key moment, showing her leadership and her understanding of their situation. She reminds them they live isolated, dear to the immortals, far from other peoples.
Meaning, this guy is unlikely to be an enemy raiding party.
Exactly. And more importantly, she invokes the sacred law of hospitality, Xenia. All strangers and wanderers are sacred in the sight of Zeus.
So helping him isn't just nice, it's a religious duty.
Absolutely. The gift is a light and a dear one, she says. Provide aid. It's fundamental to their worldview, and maybe especially strong because of their isolation.
So she tells maids, give him food and drink, bathe him in the river.
But Odysseus, ever the tactician, even now shows propriety. He asks the maids to stand back a bit.
Right. He says, I feel embarrassed in the presence of lovely-haired girls to appear all naked. He'll wash himself.
It's another sign of his inherent nobility, his respect for decorum, even in extremis. Quite surprising, perhaps.
So he bathes, gets the salt off, puts on the fresh clothes Nausicaa provides, and then Athene steps in again. Another touch-up. Athene made him seem taller and thicker, and made his hair curl like hyacinthine petals.
Like a divine makeover, the text compares it to a master artisan adding gold to silver, making him radiant in grace and good looks. It's not just cleaning him up, it's enhancing his appearance supernaturally.
And Nausicaa sees this transformation and she's stunned.
Completely. She whispers to her maids, Wow, okay, he looked rough before, but now he looks like a god.
And she even says, if only the man to be called my husband could be like this one. If only this one were pleased to stay here.
A huge shift. From pity and duty to, well, clear admiration and even romantic interest. The divine intervention worked wonders.
So as they prepare to head back, Nausicaa gives Odysseus some very specific instructions.
Yes, practical advice. Follow the wagon with the maids for a while, but not all the way into the city.
He needs to wait outside, near a grove sacred to Athene, until she's safely home. Why?
This is fascinating. She explains it's because she fears gossip. It is their graceless speech I shrink from.
People might talk.
Exactly. She worries some insolent men might see her with this handsome stranger and jump to conclusions. Who is this guy with Nausicaa? Must be her future husband she found somewhere.
And that would be scandalous. Before a formal engagement.
Absolutely. She says she herself would disapprove of any girl seen associating with a man like that without her parents' blessing before marriage. It shows how incredibly important reputation and propriety were, especially for an unmarried princess.
A real insight into their social anxieties, so what does she tell him to do instead?
She gives him directions to the palace, easy to spot, she says, and then the crucial advice: walk straight through the hall, ignore her father initially.
And go directly to her mother, Queen Arete, who'll be by the hearth.
Yes, go on past him, and then with your arms embrace our mother's knees. That same suppliant gesture he avoided with Nausicaa.
Why the mother?
Nausicaa says this is the quickest way to get help and see his homecoming. For if she has thoughts in her mind that are friendly to you, then there is hope. It really highlights the queen's influence, perhaps especially in matters of the household and hospitality. Appealing to her is this strategic move.
Makes sense. So Odysseus absorbs all this, prays to Athene again for favor among the Phaiakians.
Asking to be received with kindness and pity. Athene hears him, Homer notes, but doesn't appear directly out of respect for Poseidon's ongoing anger.
And that prayer really sets the next stage, which brings us to reflecting on this whole encounter.
It really is such a rich segment. When you step back, you see it's not just plot. It's a masterclass in setting things up, explaining the why behind the what.
We see Nausicaa's character shine through her courage, her compassion, but also her deep awareness of social rules, that fear of graceless speech.
Definitely. And Odysseus. Wow, even at his absolute lowest, that blend of vulnerability and sheer rhetorical brilliance, the blandishingly and full of craft speech, comparing her to Artemis, to that palm tree, it shows his mind as sharp as ever.
Despite just needing, as he says, a rag to wrap me in, his words are so carefully chosen.
Every syllable counts.
And threaded through it all is Athene, nudging Nausicaa with the dream, giving her courage, then giving Odysseus that divine polish, making him radiant.
It's not just pushing the plot buttons. It's shaping character perception, influencing reactions, guiding fate itself.
It really demonstrates that even when the gods are actively intervening, human qualities like Nausicaa's empathy, Odysseus's strategic thinking, the power of that first impression, they still matter immensely. They're potent forces within that divine framework.
Which really leads to a fascinating question for you listening to think about. With Athene so clearly pulling the strings, the dream, the courage, the makeover, how much free will do Nausicaa and Odysseus actually have here?
Right. Are they just actors in a divine play, or are their choices truly their own?
And if destiny is so preordained by the gods, what does that mean for the significance of simple human kindness, like Nausicaa offering help? Does that act still hold weight within this grand, divinely orchestrated plan? Something to mull over?